Welcome everybody to Stream Talk Show here on Podcastics. I am sitting here with the very handsome King Wesley. How are you?
I'm fine. And yourself?
I am fine. You are fine. But we appreciate it. We know how I do it here on Stream. So we want to start off because you were born in Yonkers and raised here in Detroit. And is that where you got your edge of acting from?
I wouldn't say that's where I got my edge from. That's just where my roots are from. So here's the thing. My dad's Panamanian. He's from Panama. Mm-hmm. And then my mom, she was from North Carolina. She loved the city life because she was younger. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until she got older that she wanted to go back south. But, they met in New York.
Okay.
And I moved here when I was real young. I was like maybe 3-4 years old.
According to my research, you were 4.
4, yeah. Yeah.
Just so you know. So you have over 25 acting projects under your belt, so I think that's dope. And we're going to get into some of those projects a little later.
And that's just probably film-wise.
Right.
Right, yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
So we'll talk about all that. I'd like to start my show off by asking my guests, what is a motto that you live by?
If nothing changes, then nothing changes.
If nothing changes, nothing changes. Is that what you teach your children?
Absolutely. Like anything that gives you comfort can cripple you.
Right.
So we have to be mindful of that. More recently, I just recently found out from just listening to this guy talk on Instagram. Actually, he said, man is the closest thing on earth to God.
Absolutely. I agree.
And
black men.
You
yes.
know? And we have to understand, we have to respect that and know what that means.
Right.
Because when we go to talk about disciplining our child, again, man is the closest thing to how God disciplines.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's nothing against you great mothers, or anybody out there in the audience that has children, moms. But so I just find myself more of that, trying to get closer to what God has me.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize that you find your success stepping out of your comfort zone, which is the reason why here on Stream we like to shine light on those of you who are living in the dream. This isn't easy, and and we're going to share that with the audience as well, because everybody think that you can do it. So, as you can see, I'm representing 313.
Absolutely.
Detroit respected everywhere is sponsoring my clothing today. Shout out to Kyle. Now, what do you represent? What hood you from?
From Detroit, I represent. I grew up in the Linwood area, Dexter Linwood area.
Me too.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I grew up on Leslie.
Okay.
Right on the street from Esquire.
Okay.
So I used to walk. That's where they had the best corned beefs to me. And, from there, I used to hit Mr. Fofo's. Then I would go to like Lou's and stuff like that. So,
right.
Yeah, but I'm from the Linwood and Dexter area.
Yeah, I'm right off of Oakman. Grew up off of Oakman.
Over there by small world.
Isn't it?
Small
so you from the hood.
Yeah.
People be like, where'd you from? I'm like, Dexter and Davidson.
Yeah.
But I went to private school.
I didn't.
Where did you go?
I went to all Detroit public schools. High school, I went to Cass, Northwestern, Central, and Crockett.
Okay, so you didn't know how to behave.
Absolutely. The thing is, I graduated 7th in my class. Overall, just 3.75. It was just the activities that I was engaged in was kind of like, I was mannish.
Right.
I should say that.
Right. Trying to find yourself. Yeah.
Very independent. Didn't like asking for anything, so I found ways to get it.
Okay. And that's not uncommon. And you're like a great person to talk to, because I want to unfold some of those layers about being a black man from Detroit. And for some reason, God put it on my spirit, like you would be a great person to talk to, know. So before we get into your acting career, what is your relationship status?
I am happily married.
Happily? You sure?
Positive.
Okay. Yeah. Somebody emailed me that question.
That's okay. It's okay. It'll be 13 years this year.
Really?
Yep. We weren't high school sweethearts. Let her tell it. She used to always think I was cute and all this, but I used to think, one day, lady, one day. Because she used to have this little excuse my language, but rest in bitch face.
Right.
And that I was I guess I was intimidated by it. You know what I mean? But she still has that face today, and I'm so grateful for it. But I'm grateful for it.
Right, for sure.
Because you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, this is... So my daughters both have it.
Okay.
And I totally get it now. See,
Okay.
I had to grow and learn and understand. Like, I didn't understand it then, but I understood it now.
Okay, so may I ask how old you are?
No. Like, no.
What are you, a woman? Like a 50-year-old lady? Tell me how old you are. When's your birthday? What's
I'm
your
being funny because that's what most women say.
Right.
But no, I'm 44.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at 44, you got married in your early 30s. Real quick, because you're not seeing a lot of people growing together and glowing up together, especially when one of them is finding themselves in a successful career in the limelight. Mm-hmm. What is your key to success?
Uncomfortable transparency.
Right.
Talk about everything.
Like that woman on the talk show that keep hitting on you?
I mean, she's gonna see this.
Right.
She's like...
I'm just joking. I got somebody.
My wife, she's one thing about my wife, she understands. She's a lot more understanding now than the beginning.
Right.
It's because she's been there.
And you guys are growing up
together in this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Though I got started almost a quarter century ago, it was while we were together when things started to, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so she gets it. Like, when I got some of those scenes that, we watching A Good Man right now, some of those, intimate scenes, I invite her to the table read. When I know it's going to be that type of work, I invite her to the table read to hear the story, to meet the young lady. You know what I mean? That gives reassurance on both ends. Mm-hmm. I'm not, while we on set together, guess what? I'm going to make sure you as comfortable as possible, but we're going to sell the scene.
Right.
Okay?
Absolutely. Like, no, that's my job.
That's what we're going to do now. It ain't no point in doing it if we ain't going to do it.
Right.
Okay, so just staying transparent, man. And she's my best friend. You know what I mean? So we don't let the marriage dictate us. We dictate the marriage.
You know what? So many other women like myself just fell in love a little more. We got a bad habit of falling for other women's men. Like, I just want one for myself. That's all you are. Yeah. Like, just a version of something I wish I could buy for myself.
That's a compliment. I thank you.
And as you should, because I want other men. Like I said, I seen you and I was like, I want to have a candid conversation with this black man. And being close to God and speaking about your wife, speaking about your partner and your friendship is something that I feel like a lot of people out there need to hear, because we are growing so far from those type of relationships, and
Facts.
People use that as an excuse that they can't be successful.
False.
Right.
So that's just an excuse not to be a part of it.
Exactly.
Or they only want to reap the benefits of being in it, but they still want to do what they want to do on the side. Okay.
So, looking back, I've seen that your first entrance into acting was being on stage.
Correct.
How is that? Because stage is different than film.
Man, I'm so thankful for stage. Stage is raw. Mm-hmm. You know how we grew up and we watched sitcoms and they had that button that they push for the laughs.
Right.
Like, there's none of that.
I know, right?
Right. There's when you can sit up and you can rehearse these things. You think something's gonna be funny, or think something's gonna be intimidating, or think something's gonna woo you, and you don't get that response. Mm-hmm. To have that drive and that inner push to still keep you going,
right?
It's very intimidating.
Absolutely.
It's like, am I any good? Like, I know I practiced this, and I know we nailed this several times in rehearsal, and I had everybody laughing, but now we're in front of 600, 700, 800 people, and nobody's, like, saying anything. So you still have to have, your chops together and keep going. And then you got to be able to talk over people that's talking to you live.
Yeah, the stage is where I found out I don't want to act. Like, I'm so much better as an interviewer. Like, I'm going to stay in my lane. And I was giving it. I thought I was until I talked to my mama later. But she's my mom. But what was that first play?
My very first stage play, it was entitled Enemy in My House. The Enemy in My House by Kenyatta Burris. Okay. She was a stage play writer here who moved to Atlanta or somewhere in Georgia, in Georgia. I'm just gonna say Atlanta, but I think it's outside of Georgia.
It's all ATL.
She actually, that was the actual first play that I did, but that wasn't the first play that I was cast for.
Okay.
I was cast in 2009, and my brother's stage play, Joe Smith, which is the writer, producer, and director of A Good Man. I'm quite sure some of you have seen the movie Diamond Girls, but that actually started as a play in 2009.
And you guys are actual brothers?
No, that's...
okay.
I'm
trying to figure it out. I'm like, just like Hollywood, that's how you get where you are. Your brother doing it, not you doing it. We can't. But you guys got a great rapport.
Like big brother, little brother type relationship.
I love the rapport. Like even when in the hallway you walk past Dez, you're like, "What up, bro? Like, what up?" You know what I mean? Like, I love this fraternity.
Dez comes from the theater world,
right?
You know, so
and the hood, really,
and the hood,
and the hood. Okay,
you know?
So. In my interviews, I like to stress to my audience that acting is not easy. You know, I have a lot of people call me all the time like, "Hey, Lake, you know a lot of people. Get me a part. Tell me when the casting call." And I'm like, this takes work.
Yeah.
You actually studied, correct?
Facts. Yeah. Facts. I've took several acting classes. I've took some master classes. I'm still in class.
Okay.
And I teach classes now. Okay. You know, so acting, what we do, we've made it. Detroit, I
was looking what Q was doing right there. Q was getting it in. I'm sorry, I'm a horn dog. Okay, go ahead.
We've made it like we make it look effortlessly. You know what I mean? Shout out to those that really put the work in and the drive to make it look as easy.
Right.
Now, it's not until you actually kind of come on that set and we work in those sometimes 12 to 16 hours,
right,
and still have to, you know, just to get certain shots done. Do they realize like, hey, this isn't what I thought it was? You know what I mean? Or if I can just, I can remember my lines. It's deeper than that. You know, you got to understand why your character is there. What's the emotional attachment to them being there? What's their goal? How they going to get there? How is that affecting your inflections and your, you know what I mean? Like it's so many different components to go into it. Until they don't get it until they're there.
Can you tell the audience like where you teach, how they can get in touch with you, how they can take a class?
Absolutely. I make everything like super simple. I'm a big advocate of these. I'm anti against these scammers that be online. So I don't use like certain websites and things for you to put your credit card information in.
Right.
I let everything you do go through your bank to my bank. So if you want to take my course, which is I teach it right over here in Ferndale, you can inbox me, email me. I'll send you the outline and the payment methods.
Okay.
And it's 4 different ones: Cash App, Zelle, Venmo, or what's the other one people using? PayPal. You know, so I make it real simple. You know what I mean? I just don't like people putting their personal information on things.
And we respect that 100%. You know, so I want to be an actress. Okay. What is the benefit? Because I'm dope. You know what I mean? Like, I'm Lake B. I think I got a couple of followers. I got like 5,000 people who know who I am in the city. You know what I mean? So what is the benefit of me taking an acting class?
I would ask, my question is why? Why do you want to do it?
Next. I was just pretending. Like I'm not really good at ad-libbing.
So the thing is, I get approached with that. People tell me all the time, well, my family or my friends or where I grew up, they say I got this big personality, but okay. But why do you want to do this?
Exactly.
Like, are you willing to take those steps? Are you really to get told 10 times out of 10 no? And really say, hey, this 11th one is going to be a yes.
Right.
And still have that same upbeat, you know, how many times will you get told no before that first yes? Can you stand that pain?
And I love having conversations because I research. So you like, you've been doing this for a quarter of a century, you know, which is something that people have to put in their head of what that is. You know what I'm saying? That's 25 plus years that I've dedicated my life. And that's way before Tubi, y'all, because Tubi is only like 4 or 5 years in. Facts. So when you talk to different people, you be like, oh, you've been doing this. Like when I talked to Jada was like, I was going through thousands and thousands of scripts. Well, you have to write to go through thousands of scripts. Facts. You know, Dad's like, back in CMU, I did this such and such play. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that was 2000, like, you know? And then some people be like, Lake, you know, I was watching the Tubi movie and I could do it. Like, but do you want to? Because it has to be in your soul.
Like, what's your why, though?
Right.
Like, why do you want to do this?
People, please find your why with anything that you do. In life. Yeah, please.
Don't just be doing something to be doing something.
So I am like uncomfortably honest as well. Okay. It's kind of like one of my traits. So when I got the call that I was going to be interviewing you, I was like, he fine, but I don't really like him. You know why though, right? No. You are the villain we love to hate. Oh. You know? And I ain't really feeling you, bro. Like, I'm like, this Negro gonna kill me. Like, I'm gonna say the wrong question. It's gonna be all good and he gonna snap on me. And then I got a response like, no, he's a good guy. He's a nice guy. Like, I'm like, but he got a tendency of snapping. Because, you know, we all about TV. Facts. And we don't allow people to just shine in their own person. You are
that person,
the worst of all of the movies I've seen. I know. Oh, so man. I say that. Do you get that reaction a lot?
Man, I get called chaos so much. I've walked in rooms, women be like, hey. I'm like, okay, I'm just, we here.
Right. Like we over there. Right. You know how he'll do you. You know how he'll do you. He'll get you all in and he will kill you. Like, and he got that stroke game. Like, you know, every time you get him with the thing, and then you snap their necks, and it's like weird, but we love you for that, you know. And the crazy part, and it's really crazy that you and I come from the same hood, because I was gonna say you remind me of a lot of guys from my neighborhood. You know, I am. Go figure. I wrote that down. I feel like I know you from my hood.
Facts.
So, I want to dissect a few of those characters, because some of the men that you've played speak to some of the demons that we see in our city, you know, and people don't recognize how that's a reflection of mental health issues, not being taking care of yourself. So we're going to start off with Chaos.
Gotcha.
You know, Chaos came in evil, malicious.
Did he?
Oh, you that guy. Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no right or wrong answer. Everything is perception.
My perception was that he was fully aware of the moves that he was making. Probably maybe the only person who was aware of the move, and he still made those moves. You know, he was happily, well, we don't know if he was happily married, but he was a married man. Facts. Playing a game.
Facts.
You know, and that game was a game of revenge.
Was it?
Who interviewing who? You tell me.
I told you.
Why? What? When?
I pick back. So, to me, Chaos. Listen, to me, Chaos. He was your typical hood dude,
right?
That knew this woman had a soft spot for him. He had tested it, and it's been tried and true. Like, if he wouldn't have went to jail, because she stated it, he went away. That's why we not together. Right. She didn't just leave him.
Right.
So if jail was the only thing that separated what we had,
then you mine.
Okay. So, all right.
For the past 10 years, that's what you was thinking?
You left me. You left this guy.
Right.
And he had what any nigga would do. He got him a piece, latched on to her. They did the bid probably, had a kid in the meantime, between time. But all that doesn't put you just as well as she was going after him. He was going after her too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to think about it. Hood dudes, especially from my hood, right? She invited this man to her new man's house.
Yes, she did.
I don't know too many hood niggas that's gonna just go to another nigga house. Now he made I'm that I know.
Right.
I'm saying, look, baby, we go get a hotel. We get woo 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 woo. I know them type of guys, but go to another man's house where you don't know what's on the other side of that wall when she open that door. That's what makes me look at when I was breaking down the script, I was able to like ingest certain behaviors that I wanted to display for the character.
So in your head with that character, was he the good guy? Was he the good man in the whole situation? Because we know Ethan wasn't.
To me, a good man is, I'm not going to make Chaos a good man because we've seen he had flaws.
Right.
I can't really make Ethan a good man either. But if we're going to, who's the closer to that point, it's Ethan.
Right.
You know, he had been hurt, had baggage, had hope, had every good intent, seemingly. He just trying to boss her up.
Right.
Like some people, you know the saying, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife.
Right.
You know what I mean? Especially not overnight. So I would say Chaos, he wasn't. Yeah, he was chaos.
Yeah, he was. It was a lot.
It was just chaos.
My biker club used to call me chaotic. I know exactly what that meant. He was all over the place. He started it.
Yeah. But so like we've had polls. I work with this promoter named Rob Vincent, and we go into these clubhouse meetings and these rave app where we do these live virtual parties, movie watch parties, and he asks us this question all the time: who's to blame?
Right.
Was it Chaos, Ari, or Ethan that was the fault of how this movie, how the end turned out?
The majority of people say Ari.
Majority of people say
Yeah,
Ari.
she was.
It was all
She
Ari,
was the problem.
Yeah, she was.
Okay, so is it Esam from Ear to Ear? Esam. Okay.
Yeah.
Now he started off as I think that's when I fell in love with you. I fell out of love quick. I mean, it took about 2 hours, but we eventually got there. Like, he is not a good guy, but
he was.
He was. Like, I swear I was watching a movie and I was waiting on you to turn, and you gave me exactly what I expected. But the whole movie, I'm like, you're the guy every girl wants. You know, like I'm going to send you over a bottle, I'm laid back, I like you, I want you, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Mentally, how was that changed for that character? Like, because that all was taken away from him, I feel like.
Yeah, he was very much slighted. He was slighted, like, severely. And I blame Dr. Tamika Davis for that. That was played by my sister Jada. Be truthful, ladies, gentlemen. Like, if you tell this man the truth and how everything unfolded, you took his choice away from him.
Right.
That's why you got that response from him. You know what I mean? And I think that's what triggered him the way that he did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because everybody knows but me. Okay. I mean, no, I'm saying, like, that was how I felt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
I think because his option and his choice was took from him, that was the problem. And the point, he fell for her. Like,
yeah, he was in love.
He was. His boys was clowning him. He didn't even care. Like, man, dog, you ain't about to talk to my lady. Like, your lady. You know what I mean? Like, so that'll push any man over.
So, guys, we are referring to the movie Ear to Ear. It's a great watch if you want to get an idea of how far honesty can go compared to how far lies can go. So, like he said, ladies, be upfront.
Men be up front, too.
Men be upfront. Please be upfront.
Stand on 10.
You say start on 10?
Stand on 10.
Okay.
Start on 10 and stand on it.
I love that. Mm-hmm. So, the last character is Eric from A Perfect Gift. Now, you think we was going to talk about Eric?
I thought we was just going to get bad.
You thought it was going to get better? This is why I don't like you. You trying to figure it out. You're like, why don't you like me? Yeah, because these 3 movies I've seen out of 25.
Oh, man.
So, Eric, what's his excuse?
Eric, typical dude, man. Got money and then opportunity. And, I think Eric came from I think Eric, when I was building his character, Eric has some mommy issues.
Okay.
She wasn't there.
Okay.
And that's part of he wanted that, but he didn't know how to connect with that because the first true love of his life, it was not his mom.
Right.
And it had to come secondary to somebody that wasn't his mom and that he had to answer to, and he had children by, that's why it makes the difference for mothers to be, have that first true love to their son. You know what I mean? Because that's when you learn how to treat a woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you don't know how, you're not really fully capable. You got to think about it. When we all conceive, we have both chromosomes. We have the male and the female.
Right.
So we're components of both. Mm-hmm. So we are, we have men do have feminine traits in them. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? Naturally. So my pastor,
you go to church too?
He taught me this.
Oh,
I don't go to church every Sunday.
Okay. At least you got a pastor. A lot of people don't know how to say that.
Apostle Mitchell. He told me this a long time ago. He said it's not until a man can fully tap into the feminine side of him that he can begin to truly understand a woman, and they can ultimately become one in marriage. And then he told me this. He said, women are smarter than men, which I agree, because y'all have the capability to think with the opposite 2/3 of y'all brain.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we only think with the one. And that one is the part where everything is from point A to point B. It's like a tunnel vision type thing.
It's the logic, though.
Yeah, it's very logical. So
right.
That's how we think. That's why we get aggravated when y'all start to hit the variable, the things that they can vary, that can throw this whole point A to point B thing off. And then we be like, why are you even thinking like that? Because I'm only going from here to the other side of the table. Well, did you pay attention to the chords that was on the floor?
Right.
What if it was somebody else, somebody's seat you about to take? Like, we don't really care about that. We just going over there.
Right.
But, yeah. So
I was just going to sit.
I was just going to sit. Like, you know what I mean? So
everything got to be a big deal. Like,
yeah. So I had to, as far as Eric, you know what I mean?
So, and that's a Christmas movie, which we don't get a lot of. I love the fact that it was a Christmas movie. I have to give him some accolades for doing what he did for his children. Mm-hmm. Because we do understand, like, a lot of men use the booty as an excuse not to even take care of their children. Right. And they did show that part, like, at the end of the day.
Facts.
I have to be there for my family. And
you seen what he had at the hotel where he was staying at. It was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brittany. She's very beautiful. You know what I mean? So for him to be able to, that temptation and walk away from it. Like I said, you got the money. You got, and Jacole, his wife, that was, Jacole, the character Jacole was playing, she's beautiful. You know what I mean? So that's what allowed me to say, hey, it was a disconnect from him and his mom. Right. You know what I mean? So he knew how to be a dad. Right. Sometimes you know how to be a dad, or you have some inclination on how you want the dad you want to be, but then what about the husband? Mm-hmm.
And you played it so well. I guess claps to you, shout outs to you, because these characters don't speak happily married man, father of 1,000 children. You know, it's like, how many you got? Like,
I have
a bunch.
yes, total 7.
Okay.
Total. Yep. When I got married, I had 2. My wife had 3. Then we had 2 together.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so.
beautiful. I love the blended family. You know, I'm also a photographer. If you guys want to go and get fit in one picture, I think I could pull that off.
Put the Burberry outfits on.
Right. Your matching pajamas and everything. I can see you. I can see it. I can see it now. Okay, so on my page, you posted Fatal Dispatch. I walk in and there's a big marquee of Fatal Dispatch. I'm like, what's going on? What's Fatal Dispatch? Tell us about it.
You'll be calling me back.
I'm going to be calling you back here? It was a good movie? Where can we watch it? Tell us.
Hopefully, at any moment, it'll be streaming on Tubi.
Okay, because I was searching.
Yeah, it's not there yet. It has. I'm gonna give you guys a update. It did get submitted. I don't know if you guys have seen Dancing with the Devil.
Not yet, but
shout out to Joe Smith on that.
That's your brother.
Yeah, that's bro. But that movie, which was executive produced by another one of my brothers, DeJuan Ford.
Okay,
he's from our hood.
The hood.
Yeah.
Even
though he looked like he's from Oak Park. You know, shout out to my light skinned brother.
Hey.
He looked like he's from Oak Park, but he's from the hood.
Right.
He's executive produced that, and they both were submitted at the same time for through the distribution into Tubi. So Fatal Dispatch is in the queue.
Okay.
So it's just like waiting on your number to be called.
So what can we expect from this? I see that's you in the cop uniform, right?
Yeah.
So am I gonna hate you again?
You're gonna definitely call me back.
Okay, I'll call you back.
Yeah, you're gonna definitely call me back.
Will you come back?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Because Fatal Dispatch, that's without saying much or anything, it's gonna take you on one hell of a ride.
We love that. So the one thing, were you at the premiere? Y'all hear a little voice in the back. She like, rah, 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 go see it.
Wasn't it good?
She like, it was good. It's a good.
It was shot. It was the acting was great. Everything, the way it was shot, like the cinematography.
You know, I'm all
amazing.
about cinematography.
Amazing.
Like Miles already know not to have me sitting down with trash because I can't hold my tongue. I'll be like, because I'm appreciative. Like everybody's stepping up their game. Mm-hmm. So it's like when you stepping back on your game, you kind of need to find another streaming service because every single movie is one step above the next one, and we are doing our thing. Shout out to Detroit film industry, 100%, 313 all day. I appreciate it. So. A quarter of a century doing this, I need my engineer to break out a timer. Sometimes we like to play a little game because people like to brag about all the stuff that they did, but they don't really be remembering. They like to talk about it. Here on stream, we want to know if they want to be about it, okay?
Be about it.
No, let's do 15. Let's do 15. Okay, so I'll say go. So over 25 acting projects, but you said it was more than that because you be doing stuff that we don't even know about. You be playing a lot of security guards. I did know this.
Cops,
security guards, bodyguards. I'm like, bodyguard 1, security 2. Like it was.
Oh yeah.
Like so, 15 seconds. How many projects can you name? Are you ready?
Yes.
You ready?
Yes.
Go.
Fatal Dispatch, A Good Man, Karma, The Perfect Gift, Raised Around Bosses, Wait, Code of Thieves, Ear to Ear, White Boy Rick,
Diamond Girl.
Yeah, Diamond Girl.
The Detroiters.
That was a good 10, Detroiters. Yeah.
It gets a little like, wait a minute.
Whoa. Diamond Girl, like I had to remember.
I'm going home to practice this next time.
I'm gonna be ready.
Okay. So, I see that you have some producing stars as well. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, like everybody wants to act. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants to do anything else to make it happen. What does it mean to be a producer?
Well, the producer aspect of film, right? Mm-hmm. You are the person that's taking control and account for everything.
Okay.
Right? There are certain components, like with a film, where, hey, we need how many stories in there?
15.
15-story building. Nobody can make that happen. You make that happen. You produce this building for us and got it green lit. That's producing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you're throwing your money into the
You're
project.
throwing your money, your name, your likeness, everything. You know what I mean? So, but it's a lot that comes with it. But that's just the basis of it.
Okay.
You know, making the project happen. You know what I mean? You're producing it. Like we produce children, you producing the project.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's expanding your brand as well.
Yeah.
You know, putting your name behind stuff. I like that. Thank you for doing that. So we are about to wrap up soon.
Okay.
Okay. What advice would you give a talk show host that's trying to shoot her shot?
Well,
Well, they're like, if this is going, why would she say that? Like, you don't have to answer that, seriously. Off camera, maybe.
That was a funny
Right. So, seriously, though, playing a villain is a hard work, and sometimes that could be a deformation to your character as an actor. What advice would you give somebody that find themselves playing the same type of roles?
Don't get frustrated. I was typecast very, very much in the beginning.
Okay.
I was the thug. I was the bad guy. I was the tough guy. I was the drug dealer. I was the drug boss. Like, you have to learn how to recreate these people. Like, a lot of people don't know, just because you're a drug dealer, you don't have to. Think about James St. Patrick.
Right.
You know what I mean? Did he look like a drug dealer? What does a drug dealer look like? Right? How does a drug dealer move? How do they think? You know, every drug dealer, do they have the same goals?
Right.
You know, do they have the same foundation? You know, so you able to play and display so many different, you know, variety of ranges. You know what I mean? So when I caught on, because before I did get frustrated.
Did you?
I had to realize, wait a minute, slow down. I can recreate this, and that started. My mind started shifting when I started taking certain classes. Again, if nothing changes, then nothing changes.
Absolutely.
So I just learned to, you know, just recreate these typecast roles, you know.
Because it could all be the same title, but it don't have to be
It
the
don't have
same
to
man.
be the same.
Okay,
Right.
You guys hear that? And so don't be afraid to change.
Yeah,
Don't be afraid to change. I think that's what we're taking away from today.
absolutely. You got to be. Your change is on the other side of comfort, and your success is over there too.
So we know Fatal Dispatch is something that we should be looking out for.
Thanks.
What else should the audience be looking out for?
I have Shut Up, which is a horror film that I
Shut Up?
Yeah, it's called
Shut Up.
Shut Up.
Get out of here.
Yeah, stand on that.
I love horror films.
Yep, it's entitled Shut Up, and watch the dynamics of this. It's about a serial killer who kills podcast hosts.
And you guys already filmed it without me?
We already filmed it.
So can I be in Shut Up too? 'Cause I keep talking.
Listen.
I'm going to keep talking.
Yeah.
Right. You should be scared of me while I was scared of you.
Shout out to Alexis Louise. There will be a Shut Up part.
Okay.
She already gave that.
Tell her you
light.
met the best one in the business today.
I will send that as a note. We got that. I have shout out to Dez. Me and Dez are in a film together. It's entitled Master Dragon. It's a kung
Is
fu.
that the Kung Fu comedy?
Yeah. And we got a fight scene. Me and Dez.
I can't wait. I didn't get a chance to make it to the premiere of that. I really thought, like, because D. Jones was putting stuff out there, I thought he was creating these weird stuff. And I'm like, and then Dez came on, and it was the weekend of the premiere. So
Listen.
we are highly anticipating
Shout
that.
out Diesel, man. Shout out my brother Camille Diesel. Like, this fool, he wrote it. This is fun. It was funny.
And it was fun.
And shout out to Trick for passing out them pre-rolls.
Okay.
While we was in there. But yeah, it's very funny. That'll be coming to streaming services soon. Federal Dispatch, that's any day now. And I have a new series that's the first official spinoff from the hit series McGraw Ave.
Yes.
There is a McGraw Ave H Block.
Okay.
But that's the first spinoff from H Block. And I play a cop.
A dirty one. Sorry. A mean, dirty cop.
Man, listen. You have to bring me back. We're going to talk about that, too.
Okay, we love that.
We'll talk about that, too. I don't know if the Moolah, and that was produced up on the Moolah Films. I don't know if we're going to have a premiere for it. I believe that they might just, it may just attack streaming services soon. So we could say that could be any day as well. What else do I have? The Dirty D season 3 will be on the way. Real soon. I do have another new movie that's going to premiere in Cincinnati. Shout out to Unique Productions and Casey Carson Productions. It's entitled Boundaries. It's starring myself, Unique Blackman, and Nunu Thurman. It was shot down in Cincinnati, Ohio, and that premiere will be March 30th.
Okay, Black man, you just made me smile. I love that because you are in it. You are working and you are giving it every day. And I wish you much, much success. Okay?
Appreciate it.
So where can we follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at King Wesley Official. Again, that's on Instagram at King Wesley Official, or on Facebook. It's King Wesley. I do have like 2 pages on there. So you got King, page 2 Wesley. So listen, if you follow me, if you're following me on my, one of the pages, you don't have to follow both because I post the same stuff.
Well, I follow both because you didn't accept my friend request. I'm like, maybe if I say, and then you just popped up and said something. I'm like, but I've been pending apparently for the past 2 months.
Don't tell me.
They was like, you're already. They asked me if I wanted to cancel my request that's been pending for so long. And then all of a sudden you said something on my thread. I'm like, really? I gotta follow both pages. This guy, I can't stand these famous Tubi actors. I am worth sitting with. I am fired. And me pending out here.
Desired pending.
So yes, you do have to follow both pages if you want some attention. I don't care what you're talking about.
Somebody just inboxed me though. Well, they ain't inboxed me. They made a comment up under the picture on one of my pages, like, so you just gonna leave me pending?
Like, do you manage your own stuff? Like you don't use it?
Man. This is crazy.
So guys, you can follow. He only gonna follow back. But you guys already know. Keep your fingers crossed. Okay, on that note, I thank you so much, and I will be having you back because I am for everything that you just named, and I want to see it all. So, guys, that is it for today's episode of Stream. Did I tell you my son's name is King?
Absolutely, you didn't.
You guys know I got to talk about King. Everybody know that but him because he doesn't follow me. But nevertheless,
you do me wrong.
That is it for today's episode of Stream. I am your host, Lake Butler, and this is the amazing King Wesley. I thank you, Love Bug. See you soon. Bye-bye.